Hey guys, so Enzo Flojo again here for the Mabuhay Basketball podcast. Um, for this episode, we're going to talk about some of the key player movements, I guess, in college basketball. But one of the main things that I'm going to talk about for today's episode is one big question. I think you can see it on the virtual background. Highest bidder, okay, or playing time. All right, highest bidder or playing time. That's one of our big questions for today's episode. And this is something I actually put on a poll sa Twitter several days ago. No? I asked my followers on Twitter, if you want to follow, please feel free to do so. Go on twitter.com, follow me at Hoopnut or search Enzo Flojo. I'm going to be there. What's your take on uniquely talented student athletes and the offers that they receive? And we're going to flash the results of the poll right now. Okay, so as you can see, number one vote getter dito yung go with playing time, no? 51.3% or majority, no? So more than half of those who responded sabi they'd rather go with playing time than going with the highest bidder. No? About 35%, close to 36% said they would go with the highest bidder. At mayroon naman nagsabi na mga konti-konti lang, na mga 9% saying they would stick with their school loyalty. Kumbaga, 4% said they go somewhere else. Now, syempre, this is a big topic right now because of so many player movements, diba? In college basketball. Moving from one college to another. Okay, like, I think the most recent examples would be from UP, no? RC Kalima going to San Beda, and then his teammate in UP, si Bismarck Lina, going to San Beda as well. Now, both of these kids, I was privileged enough to be part of the Batangilas under 17 World Cup team in 2018. Pumunta kami sa Argentina, no, to compete in the 2018 under 17 World Cup. No, both RC Kalimag and Bismarck Lina were part of that team that went to Argentina. We were there for about 3 weeks, so I had a very, very great time. Super lucky and privileged to be able to get to know these kids. Both of these kids, very, very humble, coachable, definitely talented. Si RC, pagpunta niyang San Beda, that's a bit of a homecoming. Kasi galing Beda rin naman si RC before, no? Nagbeda yan, naglasal Green Hills, obviously naglasal Zobel din yan, and then UP, and now going back to San Beda. No? So it's a bit of a homecoming. I'm so excited for RC. Wish the best for him. I'm sure magagamit siya doon. I'm sure he's gonna make quite an impact for the Red Lions. Same thing with Bismarck Lina, no? Kung di ako nagkakamali, and Bismarck, you can correct me, no? Pero pag Bismarck, of course, from UP. Before that, he was in UST, a star player for the juniors team. Before that, ano rin yan, kung di ako nagkakamali, nag-Chiang Kai-shek pa yan yata si Bismarck. Of course, he can correct me kung mali, no? Pero yun ang alam ko, yung timeline niya is Chiang Kai-shek, UST, then UP, and then now, going to San Beda. No? Si Bismarck, obviously one of the best big men in his time in the juniors back in season 82. Medyo masikip yung rotation sa UP, kaya yung playing time niya hindi ganun karami, no? At UP. But definitely, very talented kid. I still think both of them, RC and Bismarck, are yung trajectory ng career nila are still pro-bound, no? Pro-bound. So, I'm so excited for both of them. Sana makapunta sila. Sana makalaro silang maayos, no? In Beda. But again, yung movements like that, okay, kind of beg the question, di ba? When you are a UAAP NCAA level student athlete, no? And you're getting offers left and right, ano ba ang magandang move? Going to the program with the highest bidder? Or ibig sabihin highest bidder, parang great perks, good allowance, great benefits, or magandang offer sa'yo, or go where you will be hindi naman siguro assured, no, but the chances of having a lot of playing time and therefore a lot of exposure malaki. Okay? Minsan kasi, of course, in a perfect world, in a perfect situation, both of those things magkasama. But hindi laging ganoon, di ba? Hindi laging ganoon. Siguro if you're a superbly kasi syempre may mga student athletes na kayang pumuntang seniors, And yung mga pupuntang seniors, may mga elite level, di ba? May ganung mga ganung tiers, di ba? So if you're maybe someone like Carl Tamayo, di ba? Obviously, high school pa lang, tinitimbrehan ka na ng mga recruiters. Pagpunta mong college, elite ka pa rin. If you're someone like Carl, then you have kind of like the best of both worlds, somewhat, di ba? But if you are not in that tier or not in that level, kumbaga, no, sometimes you really have to choose, di ba? Is it the best offer or is it more playing time? Okay? And it's interesting how that this thought process, no, will go. Let's go through some fan reactions, no. So again, dun sa ating poll, ang pinaka pinili ng karamihan, and by karamihan I mean majority kasi more than half is go with the playing time. And then meron ding highest bidder, and then meron ding stick with your school or go somewhere else, no? I want to start, ito medyo natawa ako sa comment na to, no? This is from Dicky Leonardo. Okay, Dicky Leonardo. Alright? I don't know this person personally, but natawa ako sa comment niya. Kasi ang comment niya, as you can see here on screen, no? Hindi na kasi bago ang ganito. Sabi niya, no? Early 2000s pa lang, Vios plus condo na ang balita sa TAF. Now, maraming school kasi along TAF, diba? So hindi ko alam kung sinong school ang tinutukoy ni Dicky. We might have some idea kung sino ang schools, no? Pero very, very interesting, no? Vios plus condo na ang balita. Early 2000s pa lang. Of course, these are just speculations, diba? I don't think na may mga resibo naman talaga mga tao, no? Unless we have a player who openly admits na nakatanggap siya ng ganito, nakatanggap ng ganito. But I don't think any player will really do that, no? So again, hindi natin sure talaga kung may mga ganito nangyayari. Of course, rumors, speculations, if you go to group chats, forums from way back in the day, shout out to Pinoy Exchange. Wala na pala Pinoy Exchange, no? But that was one of the hottest platforms where makakasagap ka ng mga rumors or speculations na si ito nakakatanggap ng whatever. Rumors always abound, diba? But let's assume na may ganyan. Let's assume na may bigayan na ganyan. Obviously, hindi lahat ng recruits will be offered, the same kind of package, if you want to call it a package, diba? May mga iba pure scholarship lang. May mga iba scholarship plus lodging, whether it's in a dorm or maybe a condo, di ba? May mga iba siguro may transpo, whether it's a shuttle or service or ewan ko kung may kotse talaga, hindi ko alam, no? I myself firsthand, and I've been part of some recruiting sorties. The groups I've been part of, we've never offered an actual car to someone. So firsthand, I've never seen an offer like that yet. Firsthand, okay. Of course, we hear things left and right, but iba kasi when you actually have experience and proof, no? Iba yung narinig ko sa pinsa ko, narinig ko sa kaklase ko, narinig ko sa kaklase ng pinsa ng tito ko or whatever. Those are second-hand, third-hand already, not extremely reliable, diba? And those kinds of rumors fuel stereotypes of certain schools, certain programs. But anyway, or assuming na may nangyayaring ganyan, all right, is that going to be enough, okay, to sway you one way or the other? And let's see the other reactions, no? Okay, tingnan natin. This one naman is from Jed. Okay, Jed, hashtag Kanye propaganda account. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what kind of Kanye propaganda Jed is perpetuating on Twitter. No? Pero sabi niya, personnel and system fit more than anything. And I think this makes sense, no? If you're a student athlete and your main objective or goal is to make it to the next level, no? So obviously, nakatungtong ka na ng seniors, namimili ka na ng program sa kapupunta. Kung ang goal mo is to make it to the pro level, whether it's the PBA or abroad, then definitely being exposed, getting a lot of playing time, finding a good fit in a good system that will enable you to find success, that matters a lot, no? But hindi rin siya one size fits all, di ba? And there are some programs na you'll get playing time immediately as a freshman. Okay? Like 20 minutes, 30 minutes siguro, whatever. And that playing time will be constant for you for your 4 or 5 year career. Okay? There are some programs where you don't get a lot of playing time at first. Maybe baka nga sa Team B ka muna, di ba? But in the maybe last 2 years, maybe even last year of your UAAP career, you get 15, 20 minutes of playing time. And sometimes, honestly, that's enough. Diba? One good year, one good season might be enough to get you that pro contract, to get you drafted in the PBA, to get you that good look that you'll need if you want to play in Japan, Korea, or Taiwan, or Australia, or wherever, diba? Sometimes that one good year, those 2 good years, that's enough already. Okay, of course, for some athletes, they don't want to wait 2 or 3 years to get that playing time. They want to get it immediately. Of course, may sense din yan kasi anything can happen in those first 2-3 years you're in college. Pwede ka ma-injure. Diba? Pwede may mangyari na hindi mo inaasahan that will force you out of that situation. Okay? So, maintindihan mo rin why some kids want that playing time upfront and immediately. Alright? Okay. Next, we have this guy, Francis, at Bonzi1645. He says, again, this is to reinforce the previous comment. The benefits are nothing if the player is not getting the playing time. And again, exposure is important to a lot of these student athletes because their goal is to move to the next level. For many student athletes, the goal is to get that education, get that diploma, and be part of the workforce. And that's absolutely admirable and amazing if they can do that. But for some student athletes, especially athletes in the bigger programs, in the bigger sports, and aminin na natin, basketball is the biggest sport in the Philippines, may progression kasi, di ba? Siguro if you're maybe a student athlete for a non-basketball sport, or maybe not even not a basketball, volleyball student athlete, yung progression mo kasi to the next level, medyo mas uncertain, di ba? Medyo mas maraming uncertainties eh. Pero pag basketball kasi, may natural progression ka. UAAP, NCAA, tas pwede ka mag-PBA, or pwede ka mag-B-League, or pwede ka mag-MPBL, di ba? Pag volleyball naman, may progression ka rin, di ba? Kasi ang daming volleyball pro leagues as well, may international opportunities pa. Football, siguro meron din. Kasi we have some football alums from, football alumni from the UAAP and NCAA, I think, who are playing abroad also. No? So, may ganung progression. But for some other sports, there's no natural progression. Okay, so if you're a high-level student athlete, playing time again is going to be very important because you want to expose your talents so that you can give yourself the best shot at that next progression. All right? Okay, so now, next spotlight is from, well, obviously he's a fan, but he's also a colleague from the sports media, Philippine sports media. No? I'm talking about one of my colleagues here, si Christian Jacinto, and on Twitter he goes by the handle Christian BSMN11. And what Christian says is, I'm taking the highest bidder, given that if they bid high on you, there's no way you'd be rotting on that bench. Also, I believe it's about time to incentivize our student athletes, and I completely agree with that. If not, the option to go pro early is a fair compromise for those who need it for their families. And I think for many people who are fans of the UAAP and the NCAA, many of them might not be completely aware na these recruits come from a vast spectrum of contexts. They come from different situations. No? Some of them might need economic support, diba? Financial support. Some of them come from contexts where maybe formal education was not among their ready opportunities. So there's my period of adjustment. No? going into a big school, a formal school, or a formal league even, like the UAAP. So incentivizing student athletes, I think it's a big thing. And by incentivize, that can mean giving more support, whether it's academic support, social support, no, financial support, pwede rin. And I don't frown upon that. Okay, because in the context of our country and our country student athletes, I think financial support really is necessary, I guess, no? And if you're a uniquely talented student athlete, then you should have the leeway or the opportunities to profit from your talents and skills, even if you're only in college yet and not yet, you don't have your diploma yet, haven't graduated and stuff like that. That's fine. Get endorsements, go on ad campaigns, whatever. Maybe even put up your own brand or business or whatever. No, profit from your talents and skills. Okay, I don't think anyone should frown upon student athletes who are doing that or begrudge them for doing those things. No? Get what you're worth, diba? Sabi nga nila. So I think this is a very interesting comment from Christian. No? And Christian is a guy who's been embedded in Philippine collegiate sports for a long time. I think he still does some commentating work also, I think for NBL or for some other leagues. So thank you for your comment, Christian. Hope to see you soon and continue doing a great job of covering Philippine sports. Another comment here, this is the last one I'm going to highlight for this episode, no, is from Dave Season, one of my followers on Twitter. No? And I completely agree with his comment also. Sabi ni Dave, always context dependent, yeah? What may have been good for, say, Kiefer in 2011 may be different from what BJ Manalo was prioritizing. Shout out to my good friend BJ, no? And ABL teammates, BJ, and batchmate also from Ateneo, was prioritizing in 1999. Generally, I would hope kids are going to the school that best prepares them for life after college and hoops. Okay, and I like this comment from Dave, no? because of two things. One, okay, context is so big. Context of a student athlete and his family, context of that current era or time as well. And the second thing he mentions is, he mentions that the school should also give these student athletes the best opportunity, the best preparation for life after college and after basketball. Okay, we have to remember that when schools recruit athletes, okay, the school is obligated. No? I'm not sure if it's legally obligated, but they should feel morally obligated to support that recruit as much as possible. Kasi ni-recruit mo yan eh. It's a two-way street. They'll play for your colors, they'll carry your name, but as a school who recruited an athlete, okay? Iba kasi yung they freely chose you. Eh? But if you recruited them, okay, then you, all right, should support them or give them as much structural support as possible. I'm a firm believer in that. And again, tama si Dave. Eh? Context is so critical. All right, let's say you're a student athlete, high school ka. Obviously, you're not earning from your talents and skills. You have a good scholarship. That's great. And then you come from a family of humble means. And then you get an offer from a school with a pretty hefty allowance, and you take that offer. Nobody should judge you for that. Nobody should really begrudge you for choosing that, especially if it enables you to help your family. Diba? Now, if you're a student athlete and you're pretty well, you come from a well-off family, you don't really need an allowance, all you're really after is a scholarship, then absolutely fine. Okay? Nobody should judge or begrudge you for that as well. Now, if you're a student athlete, let's say you come from the provinces, wala kang kakilala sa Manila, wala kang titirahan dito, if you're asking the school, okay ang allowance sa akin, pero kailangan ko na ng matitiran, kailangan ko ng lodge, kahit sa dorm lang, okay, then obviously kasama na yun, diba? And nobody should judge you or begrudge you for that. Okay? And if schools have the means to offer big allowances, maybe they have the means to offer transport, they have the means to offer lodging, should they be condemned for leveraging their resources to make the best offer and to give the best opportunities to the student athletes? I don't think we should condemn them as well. Alright? Now, syempre may mga speculation, saan ba galing yung mga resources na yan? Dirty money ba yan? Whatever. If it's pure speculation, that can lead to, very shady, dangerous domains. Diba? But based on what we know, if these schools are able to offer good packages, then, good on them. Diba? Should these offers be regulated? I think that's a completely different conversation for another time. I plan to invite a guest or two to share their thoughts on that as well. All right. So thank you for listening and for all these comments from all these fans. No? Again, from my own experience, as someone who's talked to several possible recruits in the past, based on my own first-hand experience, the recruits are really looking for the best opportunity to go to a good school, the best opportunity to get their talents out there for people to see, because they want that progression to the next level, and the best opportunity to help their families. I think those three things are the common threads among all the recruits that I've talked to before. They want to go to a good school, and there are many good schools in the Philippines. May mga stereotype kasi tayo na ito lang ang good school, ito bad school. I mean, there are many good schools, many good programs in the Philippines. Second, they want an opportunity to play so that they can showcase their skill. And third, they want an opportunity to help their families. Those three are common threads, no? among all the recruits I've been able to talk to. So, the takeaway, I guess, is choosing between the highest bidder and the team that will give you more playing time. Talagang it ultimately depends on the student athlete's personal goals and priorities, no? Okay? Kung talagang interesado siya in making the most money possible, then maybe he'll take the one with the highest allowance, the highest bidder, kumbaga, diba? However, if the main goal is to improve his skills and potentially increase his future value, okay, then choosing a team that will give a lot of playing time, that could be more beneficial in the long run. But of course, may risk din yan, di ba? Kasi baka ma-injure ka and all those things. And then, siguro, one of the main tips, if I could give a tip, unsolicited advice to future recruits, no, is consider always the long-term impact or implications of your decision. Okay, joining a team solely because of a good allowance, okay, could potentially limit your growth and development as a player, if that's your only reason. Okay, while joining a team that prioritizes giving you more playing time and exposure could give you a better opportunity to actually showcase your skills, no? And potentially increase your value in the future and give you more attention from scouts and recruiters, no, in the years that come. In the end, it's important to weigh your options and base your decision or decide which option ang pinaka-aligned sa yung goals at sa yung values, no, at sa needs ng iyong pamilya. And nobody should judge or begrudge you for choosing the opportunity that enables you to best respond to the challenges of your context. Kasi iba-iba ang konteksto ng recruit ng bawat tao, di ba? Choose the opportunity that gives you the best chance to respond to the challenges of your context. All right, and as building on this episode, we'll discuss other interesting questions like this, no? Like, should student athletes offers be regulated? Is the concept of amateur sports actually dead already? And we're gonna spotlight some fan comments and stuff on all these big issues. Our next episode drops tomorrow, so watch out for that. Once again, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and see you in our next episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube as well. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.